So, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So, today is day 16 of the 20 days of the statistics course. So, if you are on day 16, that means you are really following the 20 days of the statistics course. And if you're new to this channel, kindly make sure that you subscribe to this channel for the latest tech updates and the tech knowledge so you don't miss any, right? So in our today's video, we're gonna study about the hypothesis testing framework and what is the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. And believe me, this is the very important topic in the statistics. So just make sure that you watch the video till the end. So whenever we make a data driven decision, we are basically asking one question, that is this result real or is it just a random chance? So that's what hypothesis testing solves. Now let's talk about the hypothesis first. Let's understand that first, like what it is really. Okay, so we will be talking about the hypothesis. So, what is hypothesis? So, hypothesis is simply a claim or assumption about the data that we want to test. Okay, so hypothesis is nothing but a claim or assumption about data that we want to test. Okay, so in statistics, we always test two possible claims. One is our null hypothesis. Okay, so our first one is our null hypothesis, which we often denote by h naught, and the second is our alternative hypothesis. Okay, let me write that clearly. So our second one is alternative hypothesis, that is h1. Okay, so what does your null hypothesis say? So a null hypothesis is basically your default assumption. Okay, and your alternative hypothesis is what you are trying to prove, what you are trying to prove. Okay, so, the null hypothesis or the H naught says that nothing is happening, no change is there, and there is absolutely no difference, and everything is normal. So, think of it as a status quo. Okay, so let me give an example for that. So, the example, right, correct example for this would be like you launch a new feature. Okay, you launch a new feature. And so your null hypothesis will be that the new feature has no effect on the user engagement. So what would be your null hypothesis? That your new feature has no effect on user engagement. Okay, while your okay, so it assumes basically, the null hypothesis assumes that there is no improvement. Now talking about the alternative hypothesis. So alternative hypothesis says that something changed, there is an effect and there is a difference. So same example, let me take the same example. So in our example, we launched a new feature. Okay, and we assume that our the null hypothesis is that the new feature has no effect on the user engagement. So what would be our alternative hypothesis for this? So our alternative hypothesis would be that the new feature increases the user engagement. The new feature increases user engagement. So think of it like a courtroom, okay? In the courtroom, like your null hypothesis is that the person is innocent, and your alternative hypothesis is that the person is guilty. So the courtroom assumes it to be the innocent first, okay? And only if the strong evidence is present, like if the judge, if the law, if you know the advocate, yeah, if the advocate has proved that this person is not an innocent, then based on that strong evidence we can reject that assumption that the person was innocent. So statistics works the same way, okay, but we do not say that he is an innocent, we just say that we fail, that we reject the null hypothesis, okay. And if we do not have any strong evidence, we simply say that we fail to reject the null hypothesis, okay. So these two, these two lines are really of great importance when you are talking about statistics. So because statistics is based on doubt, we assume that nothing special is happening. Then we collect the data and check, and is the evidence strong enough to reject that assumption. Then we don't try to prove something directly, okay, we try to reject the default assumption. So that's the key mindset, okay, don't forget it. Now there are basically, three types of the alternative hypothesis, okay. So let me talk about that also. So your alternative hypothesis basically has three types. First one is the two-tailed alternative hypothesis, the second one is the right tailed, and your third one is the left tailed, okay. Now talking about the two tails, so there is a difference, okay. It could increase or it could decrease. Talking about the right tail, there is an increase, and talking about the left tail, it like that there is a decrease. Now let me take a simple example for you guys. So suppose the average website conversion rate is 5%, okay. Your, the average website conversion rate is, let's say, 5%, okay. So you redesign the page and now you get it as 6%. But now you test that your h naught was your conversion rate, which was equal to 5%, and your alternative hypothesis is greater than 5%. So if the data gives the strong evidence, you reject the null hypothesis that no, my conversion rate is not equal to 5%. And if you not have the strong evidence, you fail to reject the null hypothesis. So we never say we accept the null hypothesis, we only say we fail to reject it. That sounds really professional, okay. So if I would say about the framework of the hypothesis testing, so it's basically divided into 5 steps, okay. So in like hypothesis testing, the first thing which we do is we state our null hypothesis and our alternative hypothesis, okay. Then we choose the significance level, and the significance level, or the alpha, it is known as the alpha, and it's usually 0.05%, okay. Then after that you just collect the data, and after collecting your data you calculate the test statistics. Oh, I think I made a mistake in writing the calculate. Okay, let's erase it. So we just calculate test statistics and the p value, okay. I would be explaining this, the p value in the uh, next upcoming video, so make sure that you follow the series, okay, so you are not left with any doubt. In the last step we make the decision based on our, the p value and our test statistics. So hypothesis testing is not about, proving something true. It's about checking whether we have the enough evidence to reject the default assumption, okay. So with this, I end this day of 20 days of statistics. So this was all about the day 16 of the 20 days of the statistics course. Hope you like the content of this video, and if you like the content of this video, just make sure that you subscribe my channel, like this video, and do not forget to hype my video just to keep me motivated. So meet you in the next video, that is the next day of the 20 days of statistics, that is the day 17. Till then, bye bye.